Great. Well, first off, welcome everybody to the workshop today. Excited to be here. It feels good to be still involved with CSUSB. As you can tell, I have my shirt still, or one of my shirts, should I say. So of course, today the topic is your tips on to improve your physical health. So guys, throughout this presentation, we're going to just talk about what we can do to improve ourselves. And what can go hand in hand is not just your physical health, it's also your mental health as well. When you increase your physical health, you also increase your mental health. But more will be explained about that in the next slide. So like a little bit more of an intro to myself. As Michael said, I graduated in 2018 winter. Have my BA in business psychology. Now I am also the CEO of Gaming Community Establishment. And just a short summary about that is we host video game tournaments across the world. But of course, now the world thing is on the halt due to the virus. So, and also I'm going more into the fire background as well. So at the moment, I am a licensed EMT, and now I'm going to the fire academy soon. So that's more about me. And I started my fitness journey really when I was a kid, thanks to my parents. But also I've really been really hardcore, meaning I haven't really missed more than a week, more than a few days, really, these past 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. Meaning when you're working out, you want to make your body more used to it, right? But let's go to the next slide real fast. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know right afterwards. But however, I want to hear from you guys if you are able to speak on a webinar. Not sure if you can, but if not, then I'll go to the chats and read them. So what is
fitness? They can use the chat feature.
I'm sorry?
They can only use the chat. They can't actually talk.
Okay. Well, yeah, guys, just go ahead and tap in what is fitness, but save that for the end of the presentation, because I was also thinking maybe you guys have a face, but if not, that's totally fine. No worries. We can dig into that more as well. So what is fitness, right? We all have our own definitions of fitness. Whether if it's to lose weight, to get cut, to get shredded, to get really toned, to bulk up, to get massive, whatever the case may be for you. The beauty of fitness is it's not defined to a clear standpoint, meaning we are all different and we all have our own goals for ourselves. And there's different ways to do that too. There's not more than just, there is not just one way of doing it. That's the beauty of it also. There's multiple ways. So for this next slide, here's my fitness goal right there, the Hulk. So that's what I go for. When it comes to fitness, he's my icon. Because it's, just look at him, right? That's goals. That's my goals. He's been my favorite superhero since I was first introduced to him when I was 3. So I try to go for that. So that's, have a little humor there. So now let's go to the next slide, guys. Now for this next slide, if you guys want to take screenshots, or if you guys want to still stay in contact with me right after the webinar, feel free to let me know and feel free to do so. So moving on to the next slide here. This is really important, guys. So if you want to take a screenshot, feel free to do so now, because this is the basis of fitness. If you're in the medical field, then you know of the perfusion triangle. That goes towards 3 things for the human body to work: the blood vessels, and the heart. without one of those three components to the human body, you would not be present. Okay, so of course, it's oxygen, stuff like that. But when it comes to the body itself, what's inside of you is very important. So again, the three components are blood vessels, and the heart. So we can put medical terms with fitness because it really does go hand in hand. No pun intended there. But when it comes to the fitness triangle here, this is something that I made up for myself some time ago. So first, the reason why it's a triangle is because each one of these are important to each other. So volume. Somebody might say, what is volume? Well, that is more of how you work out and your intensity. So say, for example, if you're trying to get bulky, right? You're trying to get really the Hulk or Juggernaut. So that's very bulky, very massive. So your volume should be increased, okay? So for volume, you want to at least do 4 to 5 sets of weights. So whether that's bench pressing, incline bench pressing, or maybe just body weight too. So pull-ups. Pull-ups are a good, challenging workout, and there's different ways to do them. There's an overhead, and then there's an underhand. Okay, so more about volume will be expressed in the next slide. I just want to give you all a basis of what we're going to go into more further. Sleep is also very important. You cannot feel good. You cannot work out to your maximum potential for the day when you don't have a good amount of sleep. Now, the good rest range is from 6 to 8 hours. That's what we've been told for years, right? However, I still try to do 7 or 8. It doesn't matter the age, really, especially when you're working out hardcore, because sleep is sleep. It's very important. It feels good too, okay? And it just restarts your body. So you really need sleep. So, like I said, guys, we are going to dig more into these three more further in next slides. So diet. Now, when it comes to diet, people get that term skewed. So, oh, you just eat salad all day, or you just have vegan, or you're just vegetarian. By the way, if you're a vegan or vegetarian, good for you. I tried that a few times in my life, and I could not complete it. The most I've done for both of those types of food intakes was, I think, about 2 to 3 weeks. But after that, I just couldn't take it. But that's just me, of course. Everybody's different, as I've said before. Basically, we just want to get the proper intake of what we need to recover and what we need to have energy for while we're working out. If you just have one meal before you work out, say in the morning time, you're going for a run, you're doing weights that same morning, if you just have a bowl of cereal, you're not going to perform your best you can. You have to have a significant amount of fuel for your body, okay, in the proper amount. So the key to all this triangle, diet, the volume, and the sleep, is balance. You got to have them all intact with each other. Moving on to the next slide here. Now, to go off what I said earlier about volume, how often you exercise, it really does matter. So for me, what I do now, I work out every day or either every other day. So you can do the math there. It is about 5 to 6 times a week, depending on how I feel. But that's maybe because I'm adaptive. So notice how I said adaptive rather than advanced, because we all can improve ourselves in the fitness world and for the mental world, period. the way things are phrased, it does matter. Your mind is the most powerful thing you have. It can be considered a muscle, but that's more your heart. But if you want to have a symbolization for that, then feel free. So basically, if you are thinking, okay, you know what, today I'm gonna work out today. I'm gonna go hard. I'm gonna run that mile, run those 2-3 miles. I'm gonna bench press that 250. I'm going to do that 200-pound squats. Whatever your mind is on and it's set, please do that. So with that positive mindset, you are more likely to do it. Now, if you're just feeling yourself like, okay, you know, maybe not today. I know it's been a few days I haven't worked out, so I'm gonna take another break. That's gonna drag you down. Trust me. And for me myself, I have been a victim of that. I have a few times in my life when I was like, well, you know what? I'm still a little bit sore, so I'm just rest. And then I can either not drink a lot of water or I can not have a lot to eat, but you need those things to recover better. So your mind is the basis of everything you do in life, period. It is what I like to say, a button pusher, okay? Your mind activates everything in your body. Your hormones for your muscle development, your growth spurt, your mentality for everything. Pushes those buttons to go, go, go. It's the boss of everything. So for beginners, so say if you haven't worked out really, never really in your life, why not start now? And not just for June. Okay, this is an example calendar that I typed up. So why not start today right after this presentation if you don't work out? And if you do work out, I guarantee you within the next 2 weeks, I guarantee you within the next 2 weeks, you will feel better about yourself and you're gonna look better too, feel better also. Intermediate, 3 to 4 times a week. And adaptive, like I said earlier, 4 to 6 times a week. So with these days, guys, rest days are very important. So here's what you need to do when you're on rest days, okay? You're gonna have to stretch. People do not stretch that often. When I first started doing really hardcore things a few years ago, I never really stretched that much. I couldn't kind of feel it to my bones or my muscles. Like I was more, how can I say this? I was more eased to be hurt when I was doing my workouts for my weights and my running. So if you guys work out, regardless of what frame you're on, beginners, intermediate, or adaptive, just still stretch. It does not matter. What I've recently found out for myself, within the past 2 weeks, so this is pretty new, every single day I stretch 4 times a day. 4 times a day, that's a lot. Well, if you think about it, it's not really a lot. It really depends on the amount of time you spend stretching. So for example, before I work out, of course, stretch, work out. Then after I work out, stretch. Okay, that's pretty normal. However, here's the key here. Something that I found out for myself that is keep pushing me further and I feel more relaxed myself. No one really stresses before you go to sleep and after you wake up. Really before you go to sleep. Because of course when you wake up, you get that yawn. You know that yawn, right? So that's how that is. So 4 times a day, guys, get that in. I guarantee you, you're gonna feel a change within that first week. But also, well, yeah. So let's go to that next. But I'm gonna show something else too as well. So as far as stretches go, here are the different types of stretches you can do. Okay. Now there's more. There's even more than this, really. There's a lot of different stretches you can do. But so here's what I found for upper body stretches and lower body stretches as well. And if you're safe, you can be creative with your stretches, so don't really hurt yourself or stretch for too long. And some of you are right on here, the laptop right now. So if you're going to do a stretch, do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. But stretch no longer than 15 seconds. That's all I want to say. If you're used to stretching your body, then 30 seconds to a minute. Minute's kind of really pushing it too. So just a 30 seconds stretch max, no longer than that. Your lower back is very important too as well to stretch out, but safely. When I started weightlifting heavy, I didn't really stretch my lower back that much, and I felt lower back discomfort, not pain, but discomfort. Like I felt it being really tight and squeezed. So after a while, I took my time and just stretched everything I could. Whatever stretch I knew, I did it, and I'm still doing it today, even while the gyms are closed. So the at-home workouts are working fine for me. They're doing great. I just got most of my size back that I lost from the gym, so that's good. So weights do have a beneficial factor, and so does home workouts as well. So there's no one perfect way, as I said earlier, to work out, okay? Now's the perfect time, to be honest with you guys. So if you're working right now still, that's still good for you. But if you're not working as much as you used to work out, right, you used to work, then take this time, this free time, guys, to spend time more with your family, to share some information too with your family members, so you guys can all get fit together. So maybe, hopefully, when these virus times are up, you're still in shape still, your whole family's in shape still. You guys can feel more better when waking up and going to sleep. And there's a reason why I saved this next slide for last. But before I go into that, I want to go into a short story about my improvements throughout the years. So to go back, I forgot to mention to you all that I used to weigh 165 all throughout high school. 165, 170. That was the max I could achieve. However, it was not until my sophomore year of college where I really started working out again, hardcore, was when I gained 45 pounds of muscle. Yes, 45 pounds of muscle. How did I do it? I just ate a lot of components, food that had a lot of carbs, a lot of protein, and I drank a lot of water. Because your body, here's something that people don't really know that much, or they're not aware of, is your body is consistent with 75 to 80% water. So that is what we are all made of. That is a high percentage of water. So if you're exercising to the extreme or to a moderate range or whatever type of range you're working out in, stay hydrated. So that means you might got to cut back on the sodas, okay? Especially dark sodas. I'm not really a fan of dark sodas no more. When I was a kid, of course, had all kinds of sodas. But, as I got older and more aware of my fitness journey, I've been more aware of what to actually feed my body, right? So speaking of feeding your body, here's the next slide. And I did this towards the end, so I know you guys might be kind of hungry. So hopefully you all had breakfast and are having lunch. So here are some examples of some of the foods that I eat. There are more that I do eat, but I can't fit them all here on the screen. But if I would have they would be very small. So these are my top 5 or 6 foods I eat daily. So chicken or steak, rice. I try to say the brown rice because it's more nutrition. There's more vitamins in there compared to white rice. So protein, of course, comes from the chicken. The brown rice has a little bit of protein, but it's more of the carbs with the vitamins. Salad, we all know what that's pretty much known for everybody. However, you can mix it up. So, oh, you know, I'm tired of salad. I don't want to eat salad again. That's fine. That's totally okay. But however, what you can also do is mix up the different type of salads you eat. So there's fruit salad. There's the normal salad, so like the lettuce with the ranch, carrots, stuff like that. But what I love to do now, I never eat salad by itself no more. I really don't. I mix it up with chicken, steak, or any other type of meats that I like to enjoy. Bananas and peanut butter. Now, speaking about this, so my goal right now is to still get bulky. Because right now I'm 205. I bounce back between 205 and 210. So it depends how my month goes, I guess. So what helped me out also for homemade mass shakes, 2 bananas and like 3 or 4 big old scoops of peanut butter. Okay. You put that all in a blender. Then you add your ice cream. So vanilla ice cream or your French vanilla. If you want to have a little extra sugar, you can probably try to have a Reese or a Snickers in there. Mix all those 4 or 5 components up with some protein milk, and then you are good to go. That is your homemade mass shake. Saves money and is more resourceful. If you're trying to actually lose weight, or if you're trying to cut down your size, so if you want to be toned more, if you want to be lose belly fat, which is the hardest part for anybody, because I'm still, yes, I'm built, but however, my abs are my hardest parts to lose. Even though that's still firm and sizable, thankfully, because I worked out so much about it. But that's the target that I see the results come slower compared to my other body parts of my fitness. And the reason for that is I love to eat. Okay. I eat at least 4 to 6 meals a day, depending on what time I wake up in the morning. So if I wake up at 8 in the morning, I have breakfast at 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. It can be like a 3-egg omelet. It can be that omelet with a spinach, sausages. I try to stay away from pork. Bacon, I'm guilty of, so sorry for that. But say, for example, if you're trying to cut down, right? You want to have a calorie deficit, meaning, so of course the recommended calorie is 2,000, right? For you to have for the day. That's still good. So have a little bit over that. And you can still have a calorie deficit. But if you have like 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 calories, that's a calorie surplus. Okay, so there's calorie deficit and then calorie surplus. Right now, I'm more on the calorie surplus because of my current goal. So for deficit, just eat, of course, some salad here and there, some chicken, rice, stuff like that. But what I also take every single day, regardless of what I eat, I'm not sure if you guys can see it here on the screen that clearly, but my vitamin D pills, okay? So for vitamin D pills, if you're working in a building all the time, or if you're not really, outside, so this is pretty great for everybody right now at the moment, especially. vitamin D is good for your bone health, your blood, and also that substitute for the sunlight. So am I saying to have vitamin D's rather than go outside? No, but I'm just saying for a substitute, if you're in the house all day and you need something to still fit that criteria, you will have vitamin D pills. Now they come in capsules or tablets. Now for energy, what I take is vitamin B pills. This is new, actually. I haven't had this that much. I had it a couple of times. This is like a week old, so I'm trying it out. Yesterday, I did feel a little difference having vitamin B pills. Gave me more energy, gave me more focus and drive. That's great. So speaking of supplements, guys, I want to let you all know, I used to take supplements back in college for mass gainers. However, I stopped taking supplements for protein and carbs because I've went on YouTube, saw many people who are fitness athletes. So I'm talking about people who are so buff or strong, they go to the Olympics, right? Or they go to Mr. Olympia, stuff like that. However, most of those people who participate in those type of events, they either take supplements like protein powders all the time, mass gainers all the time, and they had heart problems. So will you take those and you will have heart problems? Not exactly. It depends on how you take them, not excessively. But for me, I work out 4 to 5 times a day. I mean, no, sorry, not a day, a week. Excuse me. So me personally, I just feel like I don't want to have that heart problem later. So you can kind of say it's kind of a scare about having those supplements and those mass gainer shakes all the time. I stopped doing that. I just consume this. I consume all the healthy things that I want to get, and I stay hydrated. I drink at least, so water bottle, right? Your average size of water bottle is 500 milliliters, or you can also say 16.9 fluid ounce per day, regardless if I work out or not. I try to drink at least 4 or 5 a day at least. But for sure, for the days that I do work out, I drink 2 more water bottles after that. So that's what I do for that. Lastly, what I want to touch about food is going back to the fitness triangle as well. So you guys have seen this slide long enough, so it's kind of more in your head. I kind of want to go back to the fitness triangle again. So with the food, guys, you don't want to eat too late and you don't want to eat too early. So to go back off of that is my normal bedtime now, since the virus thing broke out. My bedtime now is between 10 to 1 in the morning. One is my max. I have been a few times over that. But normally, my normal new schedule is from 10 to 1 p.m. to a.m. I try not to eat food at least 2 to 3 hours before my bedtime slots. I've noticed when I ate during those slots times, I woke up different. My energy level wasn't really that much high for to be having good sleep, right? You can have good sleep, but how you feel afterwards. So this is what I stress about the fitness triangle so much to people who are very, very interested in their fitness goals, wherever it may be. Don't eat too late. And also for water, you have a lot of water. That's good. but don't drink a lot of water before you go to bed, because you will mess up your sleep cycle, and it takes at least 4 to 5 hours to hit your REM sleep. Okay, so for REM sleep, that is very important when you are recovering your body, and that's also when you start to dream. If you have dreams sometimes, that REM sleep is where it activates it. Okay, you want to have that REM sleep as much as possible. So don't drink water too much, or you will have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the restroom, and that's a throw off. Okay. For volume, once again, how much you work out. You want to have 3 days from the week where you just stretch your body, where you also get massages, regardless of what. Let me see if I can put it up here. The days again. Yeah. So regardless of what stage you're at right now, for your off days, stretch, get a massage, or just do yoga. Yoga is also a fitness category as well. I did yoga my last quarter at CSUSB, and it was different than what I thought it was. I found out that I was so tender, or well, not tender, tight for some reason. So now after that class and now today, I'm more flexible now. So also, guys, the more flexible you can be, the better, because you can take on more weights and more muscle gains. But if you're not flexible, you can still, of course, gain muscles, but you have a better efficiency to gain those muscles when you're more flexible. So always stretch. And now we're going towards the end here of the presentation. So just for a recap, guys, your physical fitness is as important as your mental health fitness. It goes hand in hand. When you're having these great foods, or you're very hydrated, on a high level, you're sleeping good, you will see great results, both physically and mentally. Now, Michael, if you can take back the screen, that would be great. But these are the questions for you guys can type in for the next moments. And that was my presentation today for fitness for you all. So if you guys want to still keep in contact about your fitness goals, please let me know. I want to hear what you want to develop for yourself. There's been a few people who I have helped out reach their goals. So if you guys still want to have in contact, just let me know, and we can go from there. So Michael, you can take back the screen, and we can go.
I have the screen share. I have your email up if anybody would like to send you any emails following this. If anybody has any questions, you can pop them into the chat box or the question and answer section.
Okay.
I'd like to take the time, DeMarco, thank you for taking time to give us this workshop. We know our alumni are always busy and have a lot going on, especially in these times.
Of course. And also, as I mentioned earlier, guys, are there any the questions that are present? I think we have still enough time. Yeah, we do. We have a handful of time here. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to type them in. I'll stay on for another, the rest of the time that we have. So if you guys don't have questions, then we can call it there. But having a few questions right now, that would be beneficial for everybody. Let me go on my chat thing. That will probably, so I can see. Okay, Q&A. Okay, here we go. So a question from Yolanda Thomas. Hello, welcome to the webinar. I would like to lose weight in my stomach area. I just started walking. Will that help? Well, walking is a minimal part to it. What we can do is rather than just walking. So of course we want, we want some food, of course, before we go outside or before we exercise. So wait at least 2 to 3 hours before you go for that walk or that run. So I'm pretty sure you walk outside, so that's good. But if you want to lose more, gain more in the stomach area for fitness, what you want to do is you want to stretch, of course. You want to try to run too as well. Running as in jogging and possibly sprints if you can. If not, that's totally fine. So one substitute for that is what I like to do for myself is I love to do this exercise called mountain climbers. So that basically just means you put your hands on the floor, right? Like you're doing push-ups, but you're not. You want to raise your legs on the floor as well, but you want your hips up. So basically, it's like running on your hands pretty much. You're moving your legs, moving your feet. You're having that running motion, but you're not going anywhere. So you're doing that all on your hands and feet. So that will make it more better for you as well to do that with walking. So maybe before and after you're done walking or jogging, do that exercise, as well as crunches, of course, sit-ups, of course, but also some bicycle kicks and flutter kicks. Those exercises were great. That's what I still use today.